Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello again. My name is Sunit Gupta, and it's an it's a privilege to be here among all of you at the spiritual center. And does anybody mind if I record this session? Okay. So I'll be recording you guys in between, and I hope you gain some knowledge out of my experience and my presentation. So, welcome again to the spiritual center. And before we start, you can uncross your feet and try to take some deep breaths. And we will also meditate for a little while, whatever your faith is. You can focus on that, whether you call him God, Bhagwan, or whatever, and just pray to the God that thank you for being here and trying to get some knowledge, and try to relax yourself with some breathing, and just take 3 deep breaths with closed eyes. So, as the topic says, how to elevate yourself through the knowledge of Astro Palmistry. So, Astro means astrology, and I practice Vedic astrology, and which is much different from the tropical astrology they follow here, and it's more in depth. And also palmistry. So palmistry and Vedic astrology goes hand in hand, because sometimes the calculation of the birth chart may not be as accurate as we are supposed to see, because it has so many different calculations depending on the ephemeris, depending on the software. Nowadays people use software. There were days when we used to make it from hand and it used to take hours. So sometimes it is correlated, what you have in your palm, the signs, the planets, the lines, and what planets are indicated in the birth chart. And I'll try to make it as simple as possible, so you receive some information which you can use in your day-to-day life. So first of all, if I see the palm, the hand, I see the how fingers are, how thumbs are, how is the formation. Some of you might look on your hand and you might see that the Apollo finger, which is sun finger, which is third, nowadays we call it ring finger, that might be longer than rest of the fingers, except for the middle finger. If you compare the ring finger with the index finger, then usually it could be same, or index finger might be shorter or otherwise. So all these small integrity can reflect what a person is, what they are going through. And also then under the fingers and thumb, we have all the 9 planets, which is universe of Vedic astrology, universe of an astropalmist. We just need to see this and we can figure out everything. Now, then also on those planets there are different lines, and the formation of lines are a little different. Like, for example, I just take 3 main lines, which is going around your thumb is your lifeline, which is going in middle across your hand is the headline, and which is going, the first line on the top, going across your hand, or rather across your palm, is heart line. So if I just take 3 lines, I can figure out a lot about a person, their health, wealth, happiness, what they have been through in their life, what they're going to be, everything is indicated there. And then I combine colors, because colors are a gift of God, which in India we called Indradhanush, but in scientific language we call it Vibgyor. So passing the sun ray or light through a prism will give us different colors, that is Vibgyor. And if I apply right color on my client, if I suggest them that these are the colors you should use, then there's more harmony in their life. Also, the days are connected with the palmistry and astrology. So if we choose a particular day to have major appointments, and we know that day is auspicious for us, then we have some extra luck on those days. On the other side, there might be obstacles, there might be problems, there might be difference of opinions, depending on what kind of appointments and work we are doing. So again, I call it oceanic knowledge. In Sanskrit, it's called Samudrik Jyotish, and that means there's so much like an ocean, and it depends on the reader and on the practitioner how they relay these things to you. So I will go into question and answers, so you guys could get some extra knowledge. So give me a moment, please. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Now, who wants to volunteer? Anybody? Okay. So maybe you can come here. Please watch your steps. Hello. What's your name?
Stephanie,
And what's your birth date?
February 15, 1998.
Now, let me see your hands like this. And now you can turn them around. Now, in Stephanie's hand, what I'm seeing is her index finger is longer than the ring finger. And looking at her palm, it seems that she's very dynamic, very knowledgeable, very hardworking, and she has a lot of leadership qualities. So maybe she will be leading a group or a group of friends. So far, what do you see?
Like if I resonate? Yeah, I'm a leader, I'd say.
And also, going through her birth date and through the major lines, like I indicated, heart, head, and lifeline. At present, Stephanie is going through a lot. She has to make some major decisions at this time, and it is a little stressful for her.
100%, yeah, no, for sure.
With relationship also, she has to make some major decisions at this time.
Yeah, I'm juggling right now.
So this is how it happens. You can relax. Just wanted to give you an example how it works just by the shape of hand and the lines and the planets on the palm. Do you have any specific question for me?
Why is there a split? Like, why does my line not fully connect? Does that matter?
It does matter. So if you guys look on your palm, most of the lines are all connected. There's no split into it. Anybody has any split besides Stephanie? Any of those three major lines. So you are a unique person. You are blessed. But that split means that there are some decision-making process coming at that age where the split is, and you don't have to worry about it now because that time hasn't come yet. So sometimes the lines on your palm change. So when that time comes, then if that split is, it will have a different meaning, and by that time, maybe the line will be connected. So don't worry about it. But looking at the entire palm, just one small suggestion. Be careful when you're driving, have extra cushion around you, and don't rush while you're driving. Your input?
Honestly, I got into a car accident 2 weeks ago.
That's what I picked up, but I didn't want to say from my mouth. I wanted to hear from her. I'm sorry to hear that, but what happened?
It was my fault. I was distracted using my phone.
That's why I mentioned don't rush, have extra cushion. So please be careful. And also looking at your palm, at this time, I would suggest you to wear some shade of orange colors. Orange like this one, any shade from deep till pastel. And at this time, it will be a lucky color for you. Thank you so much. Anybody else has any question? Okay. Yes, major three lines. Now, again, that's a very good feedback that some of us have few lines, very prominent lines, and some of us have too many lines. including those small, very fine lines. So again, when we do the reading, when I read the palm, I have to know what I'm going to read, and when there are those fine lines, then it indicates different things. Sometimes it could be an obstacle, and sometimes it could be an achievement. So it depends on how the line is and what is the significance. Yes, please. Like I mentioned in her hand, that usually the leadership qualities are there. So most of the time, those people will be into administrative work. That means that person will be luckier. So usually it brings some extra luck. But again, you have to see the whole palm to figure out what is happening. Yes, please. At the bottom. Yes. Then I have to see in person, and then I can try to interpret that. No, nobody can predict that. Nobody can predict about the longevity just looking at the palm, whether the line is short or long, because there are so many other factors which reflects the longevity. And in my practice, I don't talk about longevity because I'm just a human being. I'm just a person with knowledge. I'm not God. Life and longevity is on Supreme God, so let them decide. I do not say anything about it. Depends on the split. If it is at the bottom of the lifeline, then that is good. But if it is in between, then I have to see. Similarly, in the palm, sometimes there is a star formation, sometimes there is a trident, sometimes there is a square, sometimes there is an island. There's so many things. But again, God has given us this knowledge. And in my experience, which is 40 plus years, I have seen a lot of things. And I could help my people, my clients, to indicate them if I see something different, like I mentioned about Stephanie, to drive the car carefully, and she had an accident. So this way, you can help people by telling them to be cautious or to be extra lucky for a windfall or something like that. So I'll conclude here, and thank you so much for being here. And I hope with this short time I was able to share as much as I could. Thank you.